Have you ever watched a movie and seen a giant, magnificent bird that commands the storm? Or read a fantasy novel where a creature of immense power, wreathed in lightning, soars through the sky? Chances are, you've encountered a modern interpretation of the Thunderbird. This powerful mythical creature from indigenous American cultures has flown far beyond its origins, capturing the imagination of storytellers and audiences around the world. But how did this sacred figure become a staple of modern pop culture? And how have these adaptations changed our understanding of the legend? Today, we're diving deep into the electrifying journey of the Thunderbird, from ancient myth to the silver screen. Let's start with where many of us first saw this incredible creature: movies and TV shows. One of the most prominent examples is in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them series. Here, the Thunderbird is portrayed as a majestic, multi-winged bird native to Arizona, capable of creating storms as it flies. The filmmakers did a fantastic job visualizing its power and grace, linking it directly to weather phenomena, which is a core aspect of the original legends. This portrayal introduced the Thunderbird to a massive global audience, cementing its image as a powerful and noble magical creature. However, it's important to remember this is a fantasy interpretation, blending the myth with the magical world of Harry Potter. But movies weren't the first to pick up on this incredible myth. The Thunderbird has a long and storied history in the world of comic books. For decades, both Marvel and DC Comics have featured characters inspired by or named after the Thunderbird. In Marvel's X-Men, the character John Proudstar, codenamed Thunderbird, was one of the first indigenous American superheroes. While he didn't literally transform into a giant bird, his superhuman strength, speed, and connection to his Apache heritage invoked the spirit and power associated with the legendary creature. This was a significant step in representation, even if it was a more metaphorical use of the name. Over in the DC universe, the Thunderbird has appeared in various forms, often as a powerful, mystical entity tied to Native American lore, sometimes as an adversary, other times as a guardian. Beyond the colorful pages of comics, the Thunderbird has also soared into the realm of literature. Fantasy authors, in particular, have been drawn to its immense power and symbolic weight. In countless novels, you'll find creatures clearly inspired by the Thunderbird, even if they're not called by the same name. They are often depicted as guardians of sacred places, bringers of life-giving rain, or terrifying forces of nature that test the hero's courage. These literary adaptations often focus on the duality of the Thunderbird, its ability to be both a creator and a destroyer, a source of life-giving water and devastating storms. This complexity is what makes it such a compelling element in a fantasy world. It's a reminder that nature itself is a powerful, untamable force that demands respect. However, with adaptation comes misinterpretation. As the Thunderbird myth moved further from its cultural roots, some of its deeper meanings were lost or altered. In many pop culture versions, the Thunderbird is simplified into just a giant monster bird or a generic magical beast, stripped of its spiritual significance. In many indigenous traditions, the Thunderbird is not just a creature. It's a sacred spirit, a powerful entity that holds a specific and vital role in the cosmology of a particular nation. For some, it is an ancestor, a messenger from the Creator, or a gatekeeper to the spirit world. When a movie or a game reduces this profound figure to a simple boss fight or a cool-looking mount, it can feel like a trivialization of deeply held beliefs. It's the classic struggle between authentic representation and the demands of mainstream entertainment. Despite these misinterpretations, the influence of the Thunderbird on the broader fantasy genre is undeniable. Think about it. The very concept of a giant, powerful bird associated with storms and lightning has become an archetype. From creatures like the ROC in Middle Eastern folklore to modern creations in video games and Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, the DNA of the Thunderbird is present. It helped popularize the idea of megafauna that are not just mindless monsters, but integral parts of the world's ecosystem and magic. The Thunderbird's legacy is in every fantasy eagle that carries a hero from danger, every storm-calling griffin, and every colossal bird that represents the raw, untamed power of the sky. So, why does the Thunderbird continue to fascinate us? I think it's because it taps into something primal and universal. Humans have always looked to the sky with a mix of wonder and fear. The sky brings us sun and rain, but also terrifying storms and lightning. The Thunderbird embodies that duality. It's a symbol of immense power, of nature's untamable spirit. It represents both creation and destruction, life and danger. In our modern world, where we often feel disconnected from nature, the idea of a creature that so completely commands the elements is both thrilling and awe-inspiring. It's a fantasy that allows us to reconnect with the raw, majestic power of the natural world. The journey of the Thunderbird through pop culture is a perfect example of how myths evolve. It has been transformed from a sacred spirit in specific cultural traditions to a global icon of fantasy and power. While it's crucial to acknowledge the issues of misinterpretation and simplification, we can also appreciate how these modern stories have kept the image of this magnificent creature alive in our collective imagination. The key is to enjoy these fantastic portrayals, while also seeking to understand and respect the rich cultural origins from which they came. The Thunderbird's flight across our screens and pages is a testament to the enduring power of myth to inspire, to thrill, and to connect us to the timeless wonders of the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the legend of the Thunderbird. What's your favorite appearance of the Thunderbird in pop culture? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the world of myth and legend. Until next time, keep looking up,